Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Esports Arena, live and kicking from Copenhagen. My name is Sims, and we have just seen our first two best-of-ones go down, and they went in the favour of Astralis. Unfortunately, NIP just so close on that map nuke, but unfortunately not able to seal the deal. Now, we move on into our Game 3, our third best-of-one of this evening, and it's going to be Team EnVyUs taking on GODSENT. Gentlemen, how do we think this one is going to go down? Now, when I, as a bit of a, not an outsider as such, but looking outside in, I look at Team EnVyUs, and I think a while back we saw, okay, this is the French Revolution. This is kind of how things have been going down now. We've got this team together. It's looking rather good. Everything kind of all split up. It all went down. We saw G2 Esports forming off the back of that. G2 now, that French Revolution, that God Squad, everything kind of, they picked up on the back of it, and it kind of just lays there steady away. How are EnVyUs looking in the bigger scale of things?
I feel like, you know, if you look at the lineup, it ended up being kind of like the leftovers of the scene in that region, right?
Yeah.
But their trajectory right now is looking actually pretty good. I mean, they were not doing great initially if you roll back a few months, but right now, for example, they just qualified for New York. They beat what, G2 and some other, you know, top.
Gambits in
yeah, one of the top teams in the world. So
I think they definitely have an upwards trend. You know, they qualified for E-League, qualified for New York, qualified for Mykonos. Like, they won all these qualifiers recently. Unfortunately, on LAN, not as much success. Didn't obviously manage to qualify for the major. Dropped out of groups in Malmö, but that's after two very close games and close losses to G2 and Fnatic. So I think EnVyUs is a team that realized they need to change. Happy realized he needs to change the way he calls, and they did that, and progressively they got better. You know, initially they were making a lot of individual mistakes, bad decision making as well, but you know, in those qualifiers and, for example, at Pro League Final Season 5, we got a look at how good they can be when things click.
Well, looking at their opponents, though, it's, again, going to be an interesting one. We see GODSENT coming up through the Mountain Dew League. Me personally, I don't really know where I call this one. Obviously, I'd potentially go with EnVyUs just because of EnVyUs.
No one can blame you for not knowing a lot about GODSENT. You don't really see a lot of them these days at higher tier tournaments, but that's because their roster has been in turmoil for a very long time. I mean, it seemed like ever since
a year ago.
I mean, ever since the initial roster shuffle happened between them and Fnatic, and ever since, GODSENT never fielded a roster that seemed like it can do much.
Yeah, I mean, talk about leftovers of a scene. I mean, the kind of the same thing, the same vibe you get from GODSENT as well. They've just added Freddie V, obviously. Now they have a new leader in town. Pronax obviously being the one that was there before, that had the reins, but it's good to see how he does himself here and how he's going to evolve the gameplay. And, you know, obviously it's just very brief. I'm not sure how long they've been practicing with him, so it might take a bit of time before we really see their true colors. But when you look at individuals like Disco Doppler, Dennis, obviously there's something there, but it's a very different story to be able to put that all together and make it function as a unit.
Now, we didn't see GODSENT in action back at DreamHack, but we certainly did see Team EnVyUs. It didn't go so well, did it, gents? Going 0-2 and not making it out of groups.
To be fair, I actually didn't see them because both their games were on the secondary stream while we were broadcasting some of the other ones. But I think when you just look at the scores, that obviously they were very close games and it came down to the wire. Fnatic, you know, you would think like, yeah, but they had to beat Fnatic. It's a new team and everything. New Fnatic has been looking pretty strong lately, so you can't take anything away from EnVyUs. Obviously, they would have liked to at least made it out of groups, but they've had success in qualifying for various lands, as we already mentioned. And for GODSENT, you know, it seems like the old Epsilon, everyone's gone now. You know, Disco Doppler and Freddy ended up in GODSENT. We have Rez and Draken over at NIP, and, you know, Barbar just by himself left. Where are all my mates gone?
Yeah, sad Barbar. No, he was tweeting about spaceships or something. You look up his Twitter. He's got mental, hasn't he?
Well, you would when you lose all your teammates.
Well, looking onwards at this best-of-one then, it's all going to go down on Train. How do we feel this map's going to play for these two teams?
I mean, traditionally, I think this is going to be a map that GODSENT before has liked to play. So, I mean, they definitely have some history there. I mean, really tough to say just because of the recent changes in GODSENT, to be honest with you. You'd still think, you know, in the big picture, you'd have to favor enemy.
Yeah, I think solely because of the fact that they are an established team, right? And GODSENT had multiple roster changes recently, but you know, this is a map where there's definitely upset potential for GODSENT in a sense that Swedes generally tend to know how to play train, and you look at the individual skill in this team between Dennis, the pistol god, you know, you have Twist.
And Disco Doppler as
and
well.
Disco Doppler with the AWP, right, potentially. So they can have a strong CT side on paper and maybe turn that into a cheeky upset win here on train.
For me, like, the big picture really is to see how they evolve. Similar to what we saw from Fnatic. We've seen a very, very different Fnatic from before. So I want to see something similar from GODSENT. Straight from the get-go. Even if they've had a few days to practice, whatever it is.
Just the change in trend.
Just the way, exactly, like how they think, how they decide to move on, how do they play the economy game, all that kind of stuff.
Do you think they could kind of, obviously you're mentioning this, it's a bit of a leftovers, kind of put together, build this up and hope for the best?
It's a bit of a rough way to say it, but yeah.
When you look at it from that angle, though, do you think that kind of there could be surprise players within this team that may shock EnVyUs? They might not expect what they're going to do, so to speak.
I don't think EnVyUs can expect anything at this point because of the in-game leader change, right? You don't know which kind of a style Freddie B likes to run. I mean, you know from Epsilon, but this is a different set of players, so you could expect something different as well. The thing is, the problem with the old GODSENT lineup, even that one had a lot of talent, a lot of firepower. I mean, you have Twist, you have Lekro on the team, right? Disco Doppler was still on that team. So those are the three players that can do a lot in terms of just damage and pure fragging. The problem was they never meshed well. You never felt like they were a team. Whenever you would watch them play, it just felt like more or less every man for himself. Then they start losing and everything falls apart.
It feels like every tournament it's always been like, yeah, we're going to use this player for this tournament, and the next tournament they're going to change someone else. So it seemed like the team was never established, especially in 2017. It's always been a bit of something happening at some point in time in the team.
All right then, guys. Well, we are about to see how this one goes down. As we pass it over to our casters, guys, enjoy.
Chad?
I'm glad that you're excited, Lauren.
I'm hearing some weird noises then. I don't know what that was in the background. I don't know. But
No, I didn't hear anything. Maybe you're hearing things.
I'm just going mental.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Basically, I'm excited because I get to see Freddie B in a bigger lineup.
Okay.
I got to see him throughout one of the shows I was doing not too long ago, and he was great. He was...
I was there with you.
Yeah, exactly. You did the event with me. So, like, for me, I was a big fan of that previous Epsilon lineup. I think they had a little bit of potential, but it was mostly, you know, Freddie B standing out, and he did call in the old Epsilon, but to be fair, he said he was tired of calling in that team.
Well,
so,
Lauren,
again, he's put himself in a very, very big position here, but we are underway.
here we go. Map number 1 between GODSENT and EnVyUs. Pistol round underway. Twist with the kit and the smoke. And on the side of EnVyUs, Sixer, he's the man with the utility. Smoke, flash, and nade as all members are making their way to the box holes. Ready and raring to attack that inner bomb site where Disco Doppler is lying in wait, playing in a retake position, sitting back towards Hump. Very methodical right now from EnVyUs, clearing out the brown holes, making sure there's no enemies lying in wait. And here comes the attack. Smoke comes in. Flash to follow. They're into the bomb site as XMS is clearing out the coils. He's going to get that bomb down.
Yeah, and Happy doing what Happy does best, waiting around. So we'll see if he can actually cause a bit of a problem down the line. If there's 5 alive from both sides in the after positions after the plant, it's going to be an interesting one. RPK to strike first, though. Disco Doppler goes down, and it's Scream as well. I like the way EnVy are playing this up-close personal work, and here comes that vice grip almost from EnVyUs as Happy tries to go on the flank, but the fight back comes out. We're down to a 2v2. Dennis and Schneider, you can never write Dennis out of these situations. He is still the pistol god, no matter what team he is on. But time is ticking, and of course he's got the deagle on the first round. And with the time ticking so fast, I don't think he's got a key. He's picked one up, and he's got to go back in now, but I think he's almost out of time here. I think he's aware of it too, yeah. Time to back away. First one on the board for EnVyUs, but XMS could still fall to the trap. And no, he will stay alive. But nice work on the fight back from GODSENT, but just simple, clean work from EnVyUs, it felt.
Yeah, just a nice, easy execute. Smoke over towards Hump. Flashbang with the explosion. Nade is used as the CTs rotate in. Picture perfect. You did say the fight back, but that's more EnVyUs. You know, they just weren't hitting their shots. They did the right thing. They're aggressive towards that connect area of the map, and that's where you want to be. That's where you want to stop that CT rotation. Get those Glocks up close and personal. And the Force Buy is coming in from GODSENT. They have a lot of nades, so we're going to see a bit of an airstrike towards Team Mid, but no damage being dealt.
Yeah, look at this purchase from EnVy. Mac Daddies everywhere.
Money, 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 money. Money!
I'd have done that for you, Chad. You just, you know, you got to trust in the duo, Chad. All right? Teamwork makes the dream work, and I know you love those sort of phrases, so I'll keep them coming.
I'm all about the pep. And Brown Wars control being taken once more by EnVyUs. They got a default spread going on right now. They want to make sure that they're not getting attacked across the map by GODSENT's aggression. But Dennis pushing up the ladder. He's going to almost find RPK, but RPK will find him first in the game of tag. You're it. You hit the ground, and now you're dead. And the inside attack is happening once more. Those MAC-10s are going to want to push up.
What version of tag did you play in Australia? Tag, you're it and you're dead. That sounds awful, but something doesn't sound so awful as those CZs. Schneider and Disco Doppler both doing great deals of damage, but still, there's 3 alive for the Envy side. They should be fine here. The bomb's planted. They're in good spots. Pretty tricky for them to work back in. I don't think Twist even had an upgraded pistol at this point, so I don't know if there's much more to be done. No kits either, so again, any more damage is good, but you know, it was only against SMGs.
Yeah, if they can salvage any of those saved or upgraded pistols for Twist so he can have something going into next round, he obviously wants to get that AWP. So any kills he can find would be fantastic. A little bit wunderbar. But he's going to go down to the long-range MAC-10 of RPK. Schneider wants to hold on to this CZ-75.
Chad, your German's getting way better.
Thank you.
There's no Germans here, though. How's your Swedish or your French or?
A lot of people who work at ESL are German, so I'm learning so I can talk to them.
Don't do that. Do what I did. Be the ignorant Brit. Like, I've learned enough that I know what they're saying, but I just don't let on.
Okay.
It's much smarter that way. You're German, though. If you guys got any tips for Chad, hit him up on Twitter. He'd love to learn some lovely German phrasing. You should hear their phrases. They are very weird.
Leider ja. That's
Us?
unfortunately. Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. There's another eco round coming out right now from GODSENT. 4 USPs. Schneider with the CZ. He's put some head armor behind that. He wants to get up close. He wants to find some frags. He's pushing towards low ramp. He has enemies in front of him. He's going to grab one, but XMS quickly taking him down. And that is the only threat in this round gone for GODSENT as he's been sent to hell.
You know, you're not a wordplay god like Matt is, all right? You can't rhyme 2 words together, all right? You gotta build up to
Freddy, aim looking steady, but is he ready? Happy is dead.
That's the worst haiku ever. Oh, Freddy looking steady, aim ready, Happy's dead. Oh, that is great. You know, I'm a big fan. Probably hear some sort of poetry like that. Maybe some nice slam poetry could come out. Me and Alex used to do a lovely bit of that work. So we'll look forward to that. Scream, though, looking forward to a bit of money in his pocket. UMP to hand and 2 possible victims just steps away. And well, XMS is going to take the only joy out of his life. And Twist offers himself to the gods as he falls headfirst for halos to the ground. So Envy with a clean 3 to start with.
You were happy with that, weren't you?
What?
This is where the first gun round.
What am I happy with,
this
Chad?
is where the action
Chad?
comes in, as 2 AWPs have been purchased. One for Twist, one for Dennis. Both proficient with the weapons. They played together back in the LGB days, rolling back the years. So let's see if they can be a penetrating force, as they are the spearhead of this CT defense.
And yeah, we'll see if that can be a big difference maker. Very early to go to the double ops too.
Yeah, that could be their game plan. They might know what the struts the EnVyUs want to run. As Dennis, he's going to miss there.
XMS.
Yeah, he's pushed right up. This is a bomb side attack as XMS is wrapping around. He's going to take 1. He's going to take 2. UMP in the face.
That's kind of sick. I'm not going to lie. Like, okay, the fight back's already come in. That's fine, but to give himself that much room is kind of impressive. He gets himself there. He's the one with the bomb in hand. He gets the job done, and now he's like, Happy, do you want to give me some help here, mate? I've got 2 kills, a bomb plant. Get involved. Happy does have the molly, so that's still a big thing. And retaking with double AWP, always tricky. But let's look at those after plant positions too as well. If you can keep your mind on that here. XMS is still locked to the site. He can't really back away safely. Now those angles are really safe for him. And that could be the big stab there. That's the knife in the back. There's no more recovery from that. With Happy going down, peeking out from Pop, it's over. You're down to XMS to pull off an ace.
Yeah, and with that low HP, they knew where he was. There wasn't a whole lot they could do in that scenario. Good entries. That was the bonus round, as it's kind of been dubbed. But I think we're going to have a technical pause right now, as we have lost Schneider from the server. But he is back now, so as I said that, maybe there is no issue. Buying up, they've got rifles across the board, and EnVyUs are fighting back.
Don't worry.
With rifles of their own.
If Schneider drops, you've got Graham Messioso pit. All right? One of the best there is. He'll jump right on it.
Pressure on Doppler early, as RPK is going to pop flash him through that smoke. He's going to try and take the box holes all the brown walls. And he does so with ease. So this is where the rotation comes in. Twist is being called to back them up, and the bomb is already in that section, that quadrant of the map. So that to me means we want to see a quick hit. We do have Happy over towards Ivy. He was throwing some nades, being a little bit of a distraction, but none of the CTs are actually there to be sold on it. So they're ready for an inside pincer, right? If this attack comes in, there's two players close pop who could push up for a very quick flank.
The flashes, they're already out towards lower ramp. They know what they wanted to do. You read it early. Surely GODSENT could do the same. Quick on the rotate as well. Scream's got the bomb. What? That's got to be a miscommunication, because it was RPK who had it at the start. Maybe dropped it off to the rock. I don't know what's gone on there, but it's Twist with a lockdown. 2 big kills for him. XMS and Happy. It's on Happy pretty much. XMS just needs to be a pillar and allow Happy to rotate around it. Try and find a bit of flank, but when you're against Happy and he's not in the main group of them, you know where he's going to be. He got read like a book, and GODSENT just slammed the page on their face. Now, why the hell did Scream have the bomb there?
Yeah, like you said, that's just a blunder. Obviously, someone dropped it to him. He wasn't meant to have it. Didn't even realize pushing up that far when you want to get that bomb down. You have bomb site control. Not meant to happen. Not ideal. And you were also bang on about Happy. That guy is always going to be flanking, and that's what they know. So maybe if he goes with the pack in that scenario, things are a little bit different, because at that point, GODSENT are very worried about the flank, and Happy's there with the squad. So maybe an adjustment that EnVyUs need to make. Something that I have been praising this team for with the transition of them in recent times is their fact that, you know, they're being a little bit more versatile. And Pistols chasing down Dennis there at Ivy.
Oh, Freddie B, I was talking you up. Please.
Maybe he needs to spend a little bit more time playing ESEA Rank S, Lauren.
Well, look, we've all known that Smooya, his old teammate, pretty much became known as, you know, the ESEA Pug God.
We are really struggling today, aren't we?
I'm on the struggle, not bus. I'm on the train right now. It's certainly going full circle. I don't think I'm going to recover from this. I think this is just me now. That's why I get put on to other games that I just scream about. It's not, you know, not quite as refined and, you know, the gentleman's game of CS:GO. But the point being, bit awkward from Freddy. Hopefully he recovers, because GODSENT definitely need a IGL who can hit a couple of shots here and there. We've seen what can happen to them before, and we'll see if that maybe changes.
The problem I have right now is the fact that we don't have the EnVyUs side regrouping. There's 38 seconds left on the clock. They're waiting for any mid-round aggression, which is the smart thing to do in these scenarios because the CTs are down a man, but they went all the way back towards inside, and now it looks like they're questioning themselves as Scream dropping down, offering himself up to GODSENT Schneider. And 3-on-3 situation. Twist in the backlines. AWP as easy as that. Everything's falling apart. Happy on the lurk, but is it too late? 16 seconds left.
Isn't that just the question? Twist with a blinder, but 12 seconds now. Sixer, what can you do? You've got Schneider, who's got nothing to work with. Now he's going to pick up a little bit of something here. But Twist, nice adjustment already. Sixer, you've got to land this. You've got to make it into a 1v1. Find a bit of safety, because Schneider, he waits and he strikes. Nice timing between him and Twist in the end to get the job done. But there was moments there that I felt Envy could have exploited that way more.
Let's come up with nicknames for people. I reckon Happy, he could be like the Crab.
The Crab?
The Crab.
Why? Talk to me. Talk to me about the Crab.
Well, he just is a bit crabby in the way that he approaches the game, you know? Like, it's like, come on, dude. You're scuttling around.
Just the sideways scuttle.
Yeah, we know where he is. And no one's really that scared of a crab.
Little crab.
Yeah. And then, like, we were calling Dupree the Viper before.
Are we sticking with the Viper?
He could be the Viper. And the sound effect every time.
Great.
But we are seeing another gun round here from EnVyUs. The fact they got that bomb down meant that they could afford once more. AWP in Six's hand. He has 2 to deal with yet again. Dennis and Twist still wielding the dual AWPs, or the DORPs, as I like to call it.
Don't think that's going to catch on, you know.
DORP, double AWP. Ivy attack is what the play is for EnVyUs. There's 3 members are over there. They're waiting for any aggression. They're flashing the AWP off the line, but Dennis is not moving. He wants to step back out. He wants to take this fight, but Sixer, he's ready and waiting. Leg shot there. Dennis is lucky to live, and so is Sixer as they exchange bullets.
Both tagged as well. Getting away like that is pretty rare, and here comes the Crab himself. Working his way out. Not quite sideways this time, head on. And, well, Freddie B could be pretty much in trouble. Maybe not. No, Freddie B's fine. He's all right. Plays out of it just fine. Gets a nice little AK for it too.
Freddie turned him into those croquets we had last night.
God, they were good though, weren't they?
Bloody delicious. RPK behind the smoke. Ready to hit the outer yard. It looks like a split is coming in, but will Schneider see him through the smoke as it dissipates first? With that radar. Nade's going to land at his feet. RPK strikes, gets the kill. XMS and Sixer also chiming in. Quickly falling in the favor of EnVyUs, but Dennis has something else to say.
And Dennis is going to get a 1v1 fight here against XMS, and, well, XMS wins it. There's not too much to be said about that other than XMS. This is the guy that was, like, my low-key, really impressive factor to this roster. You know, everyone else was, you know, talking up every other player, but he has been a good one for me. He's done really well. He's kind of the guy who gets those frags that matter. He's also delivering them in droves currently, so nicely done for him. Envy do retain lead, 4-3 now, but look at the money for GODSENT. That's the bigger factor.
Do you have him in your fantasy team, Lauren?
I'm not in the fantasy league because they thought it was unfair because I won the last one. They didn't actually tweet out that I won it either. Everyone was hyping it up. Oh, you know, CSGO analysis, no everything. Nah, play by play. We make wild guesses and broad statements, and when it works out, we're really smug.
Speaking of things that don't normally work out, we're seeing a mixed buy from the side of GODSENT with low ramp aggression once more. This is a pivoting point for the map right here, and GODSENT want to own that map territory as Twister's pushed up with a P250. He's going to get taken down, but Doppelin behind the smoke with a Deagle. He's going to kill RPK, get an AK and get out of there. Dennis continuing the aggression.
Dennis doesn't know when he's done, and, well, he's not done yet. XMS. Pellets to the back after the shotgun. Certainly kicks and screams, keeping this one in check just about, bear in mind. He's very low here. Schneider's going to punish. Now, where is Sixer? He's the one with the bomb here. See if he's getting away scot-free at this point. So Schneider's still playing around. You've got Disco Doppelin kind of like lurking the back lines. He's got a rifle here and everything else. So this is good from Disco Doppelin. Getting himself to this position is lovely. He could maybe catch Sixer on the cross depending on the timing. No. Timing's a little better there. But he's going to have the drop on these guys. Happy should be so unaware, but he turns around and lands the shot just that bit better. And now the 2v1. Schneider took his time to get here and took a little bit too long on that one. Sixer set up well. The after plant positions work out for Envy.
The claws of Happy come out there.
Pincers, wouldn't you say? Are they?
Don't they have like one big one and one little one?
I know they can do.
Or is that from like Pokemon?
That's
anyway,
like Kingler, wasn't it?
Yeah, that force buy didn't work out for the side of GODSENT. Even they had the constant aggression towards the brown walls in the map, it just wasn't enough as the round does fall in the favor of EnVyUs, and that does put GODSENT on an eco, and this is not where you want to be. It could spiral out of control from this point. They did have a little bit of success with those double orbs, so maybe getting those back up next round could work in their favor. Twist and Dennis are very dynamic players. They can AWP, they can rifle, they can get it all done. So just going to be curious as to what their next plan of attack is going to be. So you're not expecting a lot from this round, Lauren.
And to be fair, as harsh as this seems, I'm not actually expecting too much from GODSENT either. This is still a very new roster with a new IGL, right? This is very early days for them, so I can't sit here and put like massive pressure on them to deliver on a map like Train. That's very hard to play, even though I guess Swedes are traditionally very good at it. I don't know if that's going to translate to a team against a team here. This becomes that little disparity in level. So for me, brilliant to watch. Good to get an idea of what we can expect from GODSENT. But again, this should be a very strong game for Envy, which is a great way to start their season, get their confidence high, get those wins on the board. We always know how those early seasons seem to come back and haunt so many teams towards the end of the Pro League. But for now, we focus on this round. Slow, steady. Not sure if it's going to win the race. It should do. But Envy do have 4 players now working towards that B side of things. Schneider, the first to make contact. Beautiful work with that CZ, but gets baited in by Scream. A little too better in those individual moments, and now the shutdown begins. Bomb planted, 3 alive, 1 HP on Disco Doppelin. The impact he's going to find is almost negated. So there we are. 4 alive, bomb plant. Good work from Envy. And that's what you see. Clean, good approach, meticulous play.
Yeah, they mentioned on the desk, that Envy have been on an upward trajectory. The only real stumble in that was them in Malmo, where they lost to G2, and they that's not where their tournament was over, but they also lost to my memory, I can't roll it back. I didn't even get to see them there on the B stream, and they were knocked out of the tournament. But yeah, they got knocked out in the first day, and other than that, they beat G2 online to qualify for New York. They've been just chipping away, and this team seems to just be more of a well-balanced unit. And Scream, he's already pushed out early. He's already up in cutout, and he wants to find some frags.
Yeah, he's kind of been let off the leash, hasn't he? Just kind of do what you want, get into it. Maybe he had a good spawn, felt it, but now the quick hit towards B begins. They've already got the pressure going. Twist tries to back away. Lovely connection towards XMS, but there's 3 players close by. RPK's already pushing down, trying to get a little bit further pressure. Bomb planted. 3v4. good utility as well. Envy have 3 mollies still up, so they've got plenty to play with here if they want to buy the time, but they need to stay alive just long enough. RPK is doing great, but Disco Doppelin somehow worms his way between the lines, and 6 are there with the orb going to come through. It's the 2v2. The first molly comes in from the CT side, and should I say that, the last one as well. No kits on these last 2 players, unless I'm mistaken. There's one down on the site, but that could cause problematic. Schneider needs to stop this. He has to deny it, and he's done well, but has he done well enough? Happy now left in the 1v1. He knows he's done this brilliantly. The time is ticking. There's no time left. Happy can just back away, and Disco Doppelin can do nothing but watches the round again. Falls to Envy.
Yeah, that after-plant situation was definitely not in their favor, but inside can be a difficult bomb site to retake. The T's can play behind the smokes, can play behind the trains, and if you don't have enough men or utility to flush them out, those kind of situations happen. And I think RPK being, a little bit more forward there made things difficult. That opening frag that he got in that retake situation was huge. The 2 Molotovs being in hand also would have delayed any defuse attempt, but we didn't even get to that scenario, as they're going to upgrade a couple of pistols, get a couple of HEs behind this saved M4. He should still be able to scrape together a buy next round. Dennis is down to 1,700, but the losing bonus should be enough to push him up to a decent buy.
Disco Doppelin, is he playing on the edge of that smoke? Can we have a little quick glimpse at him? I think he is.
He is. And now the
he's going to have to
gone.
back away now. That was literally just one little, I guess, ruse towards doing something, and now it's a horribly tough round. No info. I don't like the way Envy are this split up. They'll work it over eventually. It's not like GODSENT are pushing.
Yeah.
It's just a risk to me. I don't like that much of a risk against these pistols.
So just to note, like this anti-eco spread, right? You obviously have Scream worrying about the pop push. XMS and RPK's job is to take Brown Hall's control. Happy was very passive towards Ivy. Now he's super aggressive. He could be finding a frag on Twist or Dennis very shortly. And then Six's job is just to maintain that T mid presence as well. And from there, any information will come out as Happy pulls out 1-2. Eventually falls, but that's a lot of information. They know where 3 players were on the map, so they can rotate as a squad and probably take that in a bomb site with ease, as that looks like what they're going to do.
Yeah, Disco Doppelin just backed away from it, so he lost out on the angle, but he has made his way back towards the side, but players already out. RPK being one of them, just striding through towards that upper catwalk. So good at just exuding dominance.
Especially from that part of the map. I remember last season, Lauren, we pointed that out time and time again. I think I even highlighted it in one of the strats that I went over, is that when RPK is able to push up that high ramp, he's so confident in taking that duel, and he always grabs one. He always succeeds, and that's quite a strong thing to have for the guys from EnVyUs.
Yeah, it's a huge string to the bow, isn't it? It's just like, well, we know we can always fall back on it, and we know that that part of this will generally work. Schneider tries to take him down, and he's a bit of a player, again, that I'm becoming a huge fan of watching. When RPK really gets into it, he's becoming stronger and stronger as of late. And he goes a little under the radar when you talk about, I guess, that entire scene, the French side. There's a lot of very flashy, very talented players, but RPK just seems to be one of those who not only delivers consistency, but in big games. You've seen him recently just going off.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Schneider.
No.
I was going to be a little bit confused. It's not like we haven't seen GODSENT do a lot in recent times, unfortunately. The 3rd best Swedish team, I think, would have to be said now that Epsilon has been completely pipped apart. But Fast Track coming in right now as they make their way out Pop Dog, and they're teaming towards the bomb train. Lots of work here for Freddy to do.
And yeah, Freddy's one of the players who should be able to rise to the occasion. Again, this is a higher caliber than we saw him before with, but that's a complete shutdown as well. Nice stuff from GODSENT. Envy trying to throw a bit of a curveball in there, switch up the pace. Doesn't work out so well. But yeah, Freddy B, when watching him in Epsilon, he was, as much as an in-game leader, he was also a fragger. He was able to put up numbers. He had some of the better stats throughout that offline series we were casting not long ago, or being on the desk or what have you. So again, he's one of those players that should be able to find a balance. But things change at this level. Let's bear in mind, these guys are very, very talented. Envy obviously up against them. Not going to be so easy to push around. But Dennis this time going to go for something a little bit more aggressive with that AWP. Try and make something happen towards those box halls, but not going to get given much off the back of it. And Envy trying something out a little different too. They've got 3 players towards Ivy this time.
Yeah, they opted for this earlier, and I think it's just to get that map control, someone to be there to bait, but they don't need the bait as XMS puts Twist down, takes that AWP out of the situation, and now the rotation has to come in for GODSENT. How do they deal with this? Happy lurking, crabbing along, pushing into cutout. Might be able to find a frag here on Freddy, who's seen the shadow, steps out, gets the kill, luckily, but the number advantage, it's not that, it's not great for the CTs. They're still in a position of limbo. They still have to rotate. They don't have any information on where the Ts could be coming from.
No, you're absolutely right. This is a little bit uncomfortable to say the very least. Freddie B, though, trying to be a bit of a game changer, trying to do what he can. He's up close, he's personal, he's got players behind him as well. Schneider trying to support him, but he's cut off by smoke, so now Freddie is surrounded. Brilliantly done, though. Plays his way out of it, tags one towards main as well. Got to be careful. We're screaming this. He's on the receiving end of a lot of bullets. Brilliantly done by Freddie. This is what I expect from him. And there's the closer. Dennis comes in with that final AWP, but there's the firepower to the brain of it. Something that it seems that as harsh as it may be, we know that Pronax struggled with. So it's good to have an in-game leader who might be able to put up some numbers here. And that was a big round for him. It was a little underwhelming for me until that point. There's a bit of Freddie B work that I want to see more of.
Yeah, I know the team, they've been making some tweets saying that they're confident, they're happy now, they actually get to practice with their proper 5. He was only announced on the roster yesterday. Yeah, there's a couple of bits and pieces that could bring this team together because we know the skill's there. There was periods of time where Disco Doppelin looked promising. We've obviously known Twist in the past, Dennis on one of the most legendary Fnatic rosters of all time, and quite a really quick Ivy play coming in here. Twist on the Dennis on the back foot again. He's going to grab one. Six is going to trade him out, but Freddie there to mop.
Yeah. Scream, happy, not sure what they're going to get out of this.
Deagles though, always dangerous.
Happy's got an AWP.
He just salvaged
That's
that
not
one.
bad, yeah. All right, see if I don't think he's going to get away with it, but he can make it costly. Going to connect towards one. One up. Oh my God, how is he still alive here? This is the more curious part, is how he's alive in this situation. Does get wide peeked on by Twist. Twist has had enough. He's like, all right, you've had your fun in games, but let's take into stock what we're actually seeing.
Yeah.
Chad. It's a very good scoreline for GODSENT considering.
They've clawed this one back.
They were, yeah.
They were in the bin there for a while. Hey. Definitely, you know, they managed to turn this one around. Stringing those 3 rounds together is very promising. They didn't win pistol. If they can get 7 rounds out of this, you'd be happy with where this half is at. And Schneider grabbing that DAC, I like to call it, auto sniper for the rest of you.
I'm a big fan of the DAC.
You like it? Do you want me to explain why?
Yeah, it's the sound.
Yeah.
You've already done this, Chad.
Yeah.
Stop repeating your old content. Come on now.
Sorry, guys.
Come on.
We get 80% new viewers every time we turn on the stream, though, Lauren.
Very true.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the DAC because we might be seeing a bit of that action down the line. But for now, it's mostly on the classic, the AWP. Not quite so...
the big green.
The big green. I like it. Again, so many phrases, Chad.
I got everything for you, Lauren.
You got it all.
Yeah.
The complete package. Chad Burchell. Freddie B. Waiting ever so patiently for this hit to come in. Already, though, 2 players going to make their way around the corner. Already pressuring towards Twist. That's a mistake. Maybe a little off in the timing there, but regardless, Freddie B shuts it down again. Dennis now going to be the kind of man to keep tabs on, but the hit towards B has happened, has worked. Again, what a surprise. RPK and Sixer make it out. But for how long? The DAC strikes. And now we're into this 2v3.
The issue right now for GODSENT is his post-plant positions. Jumping through the smoke on his own right there is Schneider. He's going to go down to Sixer eventually, but that was a risky maneuver with no reward. And Sixer almost grabbing another. This leaves Happy, the beta, the clutch man. 1-on-2 situation, goes straight for the diffuser. Not expecting Freddie to be close. And 1, 2, 3, Freddie B. That's what we love to see. And we'll be back after the break for the second half of the matchup.
Well, as steady as Freddie might have been, the scoreline still sits in Envy's pocket by very small margins. 8-7 here. GODSENT keeping things close. And actually, I've been thoroughly impressed by them being able to pull this one back to where it is.
Yeah, good to see them turning that half around. I thought it was all over there when we had that scoreline early for the boys from Envy. They were looking concise. They were looking like they had some good decision making, and their mid-round calls were on point. But it kind of slipped away from them. They're going to be kicking themselves after that. But Lauren, we've got liftoff for the second half. Pistol round going live. XMS with the smoke and the kit for the CTs. Snyder grabbing a smoke and 2 flashes. Will we see another inside attack? That seems to be the most common place for the Ts on pistol rounds to be attacking. And the reason for that is you can push up close like we saw from EnVyUs. Yeah. Will we see that happen again? No, we won't. They're going down Pop Dog. The smoke is going to land at the bomb train outside. A really fast attack here.
I really like this. I'm wondering if that boost might come into play and hinder how well it works with Happy. But again, that smoke's really good and he's being dinked up, forced away. This is aggressive. It's quick-paced and GODSENT are making it stick until now. It's a 1v2, but Happy's on 9 HP. 1 bullet should do the job and it's done. Schneider's there. Bomb plant down. Everything good for GODSENT. 2 alive, not bad. You expect a little bit of a back and forth on this. But I like the switch up.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Love to see it. Now the force spike coming out from EnVyUs. CZs in hand, armor, Kevlar, P250s. Will they get any flashes so they can pull off a mid-round maneuver? It doesn't look like it. A 6 is just going to hold on to that USP. That is so he can grab the AWP come the first gun round. But another aggressive play from Disco Doppelin. He's peeked out team in. He's seen that there's nothing happening when there is an inside push happening. 3 CTs, 4, mind you, pushing up. So they're in a bit of trouble right now because the jig's going to be up. GODSENT are going to know there's no one out there. They're going to be watching these flanks. They're going to be watching the extremities of the map, and that means EnVyUs are going to be walking into a bit of a trap.
I'd almost want to just throw Happy in there to be like, oh, we're all at Ivy or something like that. But as I said, the timing's just taken too long now. So the entirety of GODSENT will just be watching this. The bait comes in. They're trying to bait Freddie B into the shot. Try and jump down at the right time and just catch him out, but actually this is going okay. XMS is going to find 2. That's guns lost, and that's a bit of an issue. Is there any more to be seen here? Oh my word, what is this man doing? What an absolute animal this guy is just going off. I don't know if he's going to win the round or do anything. Time is a huge factor, and it's down to Freddie B here. Good positioning, shouldn't drop this, but Envy have cost them so much.
Yeah, and opting to, to get away with those upgraded pistols. They had that AK, but it's going to go down with the bomb. So great round from Envy. Fantastic job there by XMS, picking up a lot of frags, doing a lot of damage. Top scoring in the server right now, so he's on fire, some might say. Now, the question is, as Envy, do you do a force buy behind that? You knew you took away so many weapons. You know you've really hurt the economy from GODSENT. They're still able to get up the AKs. They've got some Galils. They have a MAC-10. But you could have scrapped together a buy with scouts and whatnot, but they've just gone for another eco, a couple of upgraded pistols once more. And it looks like they're doing the same thing. 3 aggressive low ramp, 1 high ramp, Happy outside by himself, playing around, that smoke that's been dropped, actually. So the change up here is GODSENT are going Ivy. They're going to come out behind Happy in this scenario.
Yeah, Schneider and Dennis could be put to task, but it's all about timing again. GODSENT have got that Ivy control. Smoke goes in, and now they start the hit. They start to wind up the machine. Happy waiting. I wonder if he's put himself into this position and they don't check it purely because they feel as though there's not going to be anyone here, and he's got a lot of room to move. He does find Freddie B. That's a problem. Now Sixer can be a threat, but no. It's controlled. It's put to bed. They don't even need the plant.
Yeah, expensive rounds there. They didn't take as many players in that situation, but from the first eco, it just means, any guns they took was a bonus in that scenario. So coming into this one, you're going to be pretty happy as EnVyUs. If you get this gun round, the economy for GODSENT is going to be in a pretty dismal position, I would say. But this is the double ops coming out from EnVyUs now. It seems to be a bit of a trend on these CT sides. Happy with one Sixer with the other. Let's see how they want to employ them.
Again, RPK soloing towards B, so both AWPs on the same side of things, but this map, it allows a little bit of that play, but Happy has come back over. GODSENT going for 3 players again down Ivy. 6 is going to be on the other side of that, holding a slither of an angle, but as soon as it changes color, as soon as that pixel appears, oh, he saw the arm come through. That was enough for him to just take the shot there. Could be an issue on that, going to fall back from it, but already a frag put on the board there. As Dennis falls, you're down to 4 for the T side.
Not only that, XMS has already pushed into team mid. He also has all that map control and information, and GODSENT are falling back. He might find himself a handsome little jewel soon. Schneider has weaseled his way out of Pop Dog, and he's working towards that bomb train. He is a man behind enemy lines right now, and they don't know he's here.
Yeah, Schneider truly in enemy territory. He's going to take the shot, and the first one he finds doesn't try and step too far, but XMS is the problem. And why are you just jumping around that corner like no one could be there? That's a huge issue, but still, it's traded out well. Disco Doppler doesn't drop the ball, and now they can still get towards A. Sixer and Happy by the old bomb train around the back of the lines here. Freddie B is going to be the one to keep that in check. And both players missing awkward shots there, and they do kind of get to reset the fight, but the bomb's yet to be planted, and there's 30 seconds remaining.
This is where double orbs are a huge problem. It's so difficult in these scenarios. Neither of these guys are huge combat AWPers, but as I say, that Sixer jumping up, finding one, and the orbs doing work, and the round going in favor of EnVyUs against all odds.
Just against you. You know,
Yeah.
you say, very hard to find. Nah, Sixer's up for it. But yeah, we don't, as I said, was this just a gun barrel he saw?
Yeah, I think so, because the guy was looking up. They were going to do the run boost, so he must have just seen the barrel of the... There it is.
Yeah, literally just a glove appeared or whatever.
Pixel perfect.
Yeah, that's baiting the shot out.
This is where we see the damage from those two eco rounds come in. And this has forced GODSENT onto an eco round, right? They lost a lot of guns in their first anti-eco. They lost 2 guns in the second. And now they've opted to eco in this scenario. Whereas if they were able to hold on to that weaponry earlier on, they would have another gun round in a normal situation. Sixer finding a kill this time. Schneider going down. Deagles are very effective on this map, you know. I would send more players over towards that Ivy section because you can actually take Jules with a Deagle. If people want to repick, you have a bit of an advantage. But no dramas there. The Famises and whatnot get it done for the side of Envy, and now we're all tied up at 10 each.
Going into this, I genuinely didn't think it'd be this close. I'm very impressed, but still. It's but one of those where it's like, okay, GODSENT win the pistol, they get the 3 back in, and now it becomes a gun round. So this is where it's the meat of it. But it wasn't clean. It certainly wasn't clean work. You know, the scoreline doesn't necessarily represent how the game's gone down just yet. Let's see what GODSENT bring now. Well, this is quick. This is very fast. Going to unleash the guys towards that outer side of things. And, well, it's not gone well, to say the least. 2 kills very swiftly come in for EnVyUs. Make it 3 as XMS sprays him wildly, getting the job done. And now it's just down to Freddie B in the 1v5. I've said you're good, but I think that's a bit of a stretch in there. Put to bed in the end, but trying to switch up a pace and didn't have much luck with it.
It feels a bit early for that. You know, you want to have a bit of dominance on these gun rounds in the sense of getting map control, forcing the rotation, making sure they play 2 people inside, maybe trying a pincer on the outside bomb site. In this scenario, they've just opted for a Hail Mary strat. And, you know, I think now teams are so good at dealing with fast outsides. They understand the protocols, how to react around the smokes, where to use their utility effectively. And in that scenario, you just see EnVyUs doing a perfect job playing heads-up Counter-Strike, taking down GODSENT, forcing them onto yet another eco.
Yeah, a bit of an issue here.
Look,
now starting to build.
Just as well, Lauren, no one on GODSENT is opting for a flash, but we have 4 Deagles, and you want to head towards inside? Like, that's dumb.
Literally one flash could maybe set something up for them.
Yeah, you could pop flash into the site. You could pop flash that line where RPK was. You could have used it at any point when attacking this bomb site. But now you're just hoping to find Jules, right? You're hoping to find those pixel-perfect Deagle headshots. And sure, these are professionals. They have fantastic aim. They can come time and time again. The AWP is always going to have the advantage. A flash can level that, right? A flash can push you off a line. You want to be cheeky, you want to step back up, then you get your head taken off. But in this scenario, it's going to happen exactly as I say. Are you ready? Oh, Happy.
Happy, why you do this?
What are you doing, man?
Oh, Happy, don't make Chad sad.
Man.
He needs this in his life.
I'm justifying something. I had a really good point. And Happy just takes it away from me. Speaking of taken away, so's the direction of GODSENT. Moving away from the inner bomb site. Now they've got 1 player T-mid, 2 in pop, 1 Ivy. They want a pincer with the Deagles, and there's Doppler striking.
All right, well, there's the first. I doubt there'll be much more to follow. This is when you kind of remind yourself. You're just like, all right, guys, let's not lose out.
Tighten her up a bit. Let's.
Yeah, let's just crank it a little bit closer. So they're fine. Envy lose 1. But money's good.
Here's something that you could do if you're GODSENT. Throw those aggressive outside smokes and utility like they did in the fast out, and then mix it right up. Go for a quick inside play off the base of that because you know you're going to have the attention. You know those Envy guys are going to be looking towards the yard. But it looks like they've opted for the AWP on Twist, which to me means they're going to go into more of a default formation, and I think that's what we're seeing. 3 players making their way over towards brown walls. Twist is watching the Ivy push with Disco Doppler in tow, and then I'm assuming he'll flick over. But Happy playing in the Molotov. He's going to burn, going down to Schneider. Got a little bit overzealous.
Yeah, not surprised he kind of fully commits to that. So he actually, you can take a bit of damage and back away, but that much fire certainly does burn. But XMS always putting up numbers. Always able to do this so well. Evening the odds. And yeah, bomb down. XMS again pushing up and being such a nuisance. It's going to pull Freddie B back, Disco Doppler back. And now he's got support. Now he's got Scream with him. It's a little suffocating.
Scream's dead.
Is he? Sixer towards Disco Dublin. Yes, he is. Oh, no, actually, tell a lie, he's not. He's still alive. It was XMS who went down. And the only thing that really matters that's down right now is the bomb. Still stuck in a terribly awkward predicament for GODSENT. You're down to Dennis and Schneider, and I don't know how much they're going to find here, really. They've got an AWP back on Dennis now. I just don't see this really going anywhere unless EnVy make mistakes, which, hey, it could happen. If they get a little, you know, overzealous on this, they play a little out of it. Okay, there's room, and actually Schneider's found room as well, so's Dennis. And this gets a bit awkward. Okay, 35 seconds now. Where are they posted up? Sixer, I guess, just eyeing up the line as long as possible.
Thing is, he can't stop the bomb being
exactly.
picked up.
So I don't know what I guess he's trying to. I don't know what he was intending then, but RPK is going to put himself on the bomb, and I like that. Just be the kind of, you know, brick wall, stop them from getting it done. And RPK, I've told you he delivers before in these moments. Let's see if he's going to do it again. Of course he is. It's RPK. One goes down. The next line's up. He's buying time. He's playing it well. He plays the angles perfectly. That's RPK. That's what you want to see, but it should never have got to that situation, I feel.
Yeah, the tank rolling over in that 2v2, just crushing any life that GODSENT had left in that round. The issue is, Lauren, and the reason that Scream moves away from the bomb is when you're in those kind of scenarios, you have two choices. You either play the bomb, which allows the Ts to know that you're most likely going to be holding it, right? So if you just disappear from the rest of the map and you play around the bomb and your setup is, even if it's a good setup, they know like where the jewels are going to come eventually because you have to be playing around that part of the map. Or you let them have the bomb and you play in a bit more limbo type positions that are more restrictive. You can still pounce and close down on them when they go to get the bomb. You know they have to waste time clearing all the corners, but you're not giving away frags. And in that situation, Scream was the only one near it. So that's why he backed away. The thing is, he probably didn't back far enough away. He was in a position where he didn't have the information. He was still probably too far up, and he should have just got as far out of there as possible. He knew he could have pushed back down towards Ivy where Sixer was, because that part of the map was covered the entire time. He just overstayed his welcome a little bit too long, and here comes the utility usage towards the inner bomb site.
Yeah, all players present for GODSENT. They're not messing around on this, but there's so many players there from EnVyUs. They've read the play well. They've put the players in the right position. Now, okay, the problem being, I guess, in this one, they've lost 2 players here, and this is against a very, very shoddy buy from GODSENT. Bomb's now planted. This is a bit awkward. This is uncomfortable. Look how close Happy has to get on this, and look at him get punished. On the other side is Dennis. CZ to hand. Now an AWP as well. This could go from bad to worse. Let's see if they can recover from this. Six is working it back in, but it's just down to Scream. The 1v2. Bomb ticks ever faster. Schneider's the first, though. He goes down. No kit now picked up on Scream. He's going to push forward. Not a Molotov to be seen for the T side, so that can't be stopped. Scream taps the bomb once. He waits for the peak to come in. The fire comes down. He just didn't expect Freddy to be up top.
Yeah, almost a blunder there from Schneider, thinking that Scream had already pushed into the bomb site. Literally didn't even think he could be anywhere else. So almost went wrong there for GODSENT. But the fact that they've gone for more of a traditional play, you know, they've gone inside, they've done the pop flash, they've taken the bomb site, they've pushed up, done well in that scenario. This is what I would have liked to have seen earlier in the gun rounds from them, but they've set that precedent now, and the score is 13-11. Why can't we speak today?
Take off your headset off.
God damn it.
Genuinely.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, it helps.
Okay.
Completely useless information for people at home, but regardless.
It's the only way we can talk to each other.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? RPK, though, going to do what he does. Just go through the motions of being, you know, well, this plays who he solos out B well, but he's got support there. Happy's on the back lines. They've still got the double up in play.
Yep.
Still pretty nicely positioned. But GODSENT, I'm curious to see how they go about this. Again, it seems that late game, that aggression from EnVyUs has been quite hard to handle. XMS pushes up well. You've got Scream becoming quite attentive as well towards Pop now.
Yeah, this setup by EnVyUs is very forward. It has a timer on it, right? You can only stay this aggressive until your utility runs out, and then you're all in. You have to stay and fight and hope they don't use their utility properly to push you out of position, or you have to drop right back. And it looks like they want to stay all in as we tick below 1 minute right now, and the Molotovs are going to burn away. Take down one, but Scream quickly going to trade it up, put us back in a 4-on-4 situation. The bomb is going to be collected, and it looks like they want to head towards the inner bomb site. And RPK, no, not the inner bomb site, the outer bomb site.
Yeah. There was a second when they kind of went back around towards the brown. You saw a twist there, but then they've got no information. You've given that up for so long. Obviously, RPK's instantly punished that. So he's got free information here. He's sat there like, guys, they're not here. But Dennis is doing damage over by A, taking down the player towards the site, forcing Happy to play his hand, which is fine. But now it's down to Scream. He's where this should all stop. If they don't check this meticulously, there's a problem, but they do. There comes Disco Doppler, too aware, not going to let it slip. Fire comes out from RPK, and that's not what you want to see. That's great, though. Oh, that's RPK! That's what you want to expect from this man. When the chips are down, he comes through with what you need. 3 big kills, recovers the AWP. What more can you ask for?
And he broke the bank there of GODSENT. They've got no money to work with. They have to go for another one of these partial buys. They did have success with that before when they headed towards the inner bomb site, but if you're the boys from EnVyUs, you must be expecting a very similar play. The adjustment will come in. You're not going to lose to that again, or you shouldn't, and if you do, shame on you.
Yeah, this is getting to that stage now for GODSENT.
They're doing it again by the looks of things, Lauren. They're heading over towards that section of the map. The 2 players, Scream and XMS, playing up towards Pop again means it can be a fast flank. Happy is spotted outside, and now he's already rotating back in to assist RPK. So unless they hit some shots here, it should be a pretty easy lockdown for EnVyUs.
I was all worried that Happy pulled himself over there. You've already got 2 players by Pop, and you know, just kind of watching the lines, he didn't need to go that far. If they overwhelm Pop, then yeah, you're kind of screwed, which is kind of what's happened here. With Scream going down, it's kind of spread the numbers. Yeah, what is this over rotation coming out? RPK is kind of belting it back now, like they haven't quickly hit. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, lots of panic there for EnVyUs. Probably could have left Happy inside and played the AWP retake if you really wanted to in that scenario. No real reason to rotate both players out. And if you're worried about RPK being too close in the bomb site, then you just leave the AWP there and like I said, play that retake scenario. You know they're going to be aggressive. You want to maybe let them push up and drop back and then take them as a unit. But it looks like, once again, GODSENT have changed their mind, dropping back towards T middle with a lot of numbers, leaving Twist to go late Pop. He's going to find XMS. They're going to have a battle anytime.
Yeah, well, okay, XMS wins that one. Not going to, deal with that dancing as GODSENT explode towards the outer side of things. You still got Sixer up. Happy's not too far off, and XMS isn't that far away either. But the problem is they can solo Sixer out and isolate him, which they did. Happy now goes in on his own, gets taken down. This is a 1-by-1 affair, and it's not going well. 20 seconds remain. RPK put to task again. Surely not 2 times in a row, no. This time quelled and put aside. The tank gets tracked, and it's down to XMS to play himself into the situation. But look at the angle from Dennis there. If it wasn't going to be anyone else, Dennis could have easily shut that down.
Yeah, and that's just standard because they knew XMS was in Pop earlier in the round because he made that frag, and then the fact that RPK came out of there and he didn't have his friend in tow just means that the most likely scenario is pushing around to T mid. So they knew that was up. Just made sense and able to punish him, and now the economy swings once more. It's another one of these economical battles, Lauren, and GODSENT have come out on top as we do see just a pistol upgrades coming in from the guys of EnVyUs. The inside push again. This is their go-to. They like to send 1 high ramp, 3 pushing up low ramp, and then Happy just baiting outside on his own. So, Schneider going down very swiftly. XMS still putting up frags. XM, yes?
I like the new name.
XM, yes. Yeah, when he does something good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at this point, though, because EnVy have all the information, and GODSENT are kind of forced to make the move. Now, obviously, such firepower on GODSENT, they should be able to control it, but Scream's getting up close. Look at this position. He even finds one. Oh, they're all turning from the flash. They're trying to go through it. Great work from him. Down to 3 now. GODSENT need to keep this one together. Don't lose out. 6 is in the back lines, but Disco Doppler well aware. Oh, and there it comes. RPK again. This guy. I absolutely love to see it. And now a 1v1 emerges. Him up against Twist. Twist surely aware he's still around here, lurking away somewhere. But there's a minute on the board, plenty of time, but the bomb loose. RPK knows it. But which angle does he hold? Where does he play? How does he do this? Working it out as we speak. Twist going on the long play, but you can see RPK in the back of his mind, the timing ticking. There's now threats on board everywhere. He could have walked around. He could be all the way on the back lines, but the end of the story really is he needs that bomb, and I have it to hand. And RPK is going to play this angle as long as he can, play this position. If Twist makes a sound, he's done for. And yeah, speaking of done for, I'd be pretty tilted after that. RPK again. Whenever he gets on this bomb site or put into these clutch situations, he always seems to deliver.
Yeah, and 22 frags for him now. XMS leading the way. We've been really highlighting that guy. He's on 28 kills in total, and it's these two leading the scoreboard right now in the server. Dennis, he's doing a job on 22 frags, and then Freddie has 21 himself. A good little debut for him. Twist off the pace with 11. Could have really had an impact round right there if he was able to pick that one up for GODSENT, but winning that pistol by round for EnVyUs is huge. They have the chance right now. They can keep the foot on the throat, and they can finish off GODSENT here and make it 16-12.
Happy. Waiting. All the others just on the precipice of this game being signed and done. You want those clean games. You want to get this one in the bag, especially against this sort of purchase. Far from perfect for GODSENT. Just those 2 rifles to clutch onto, praying that Schneider and Disco Doppeln can find a bit of room to play. But seeing that the pistols certainly do work well with the Swedes, but again, tough one. Twist there, going to punish RPK. First time they've been able to punish that sort of push-up. Nicely done. Good patience from the GODSENT side. Smoke goes in towards that lower ramp. Going to try and force them to be a little bit more aware of a possibility. Try and loosen the numbers, force out. Oh no, the jump on the mouse wheel maybe there? I'm kind of curious as to what happened, but it's cost him his life. A 3v4 though. GODSENT have the numbers up. Scream this time. Can we ask the question of, can he do what RPK has been doing? Can he deliver these angles? Sixer certainly can. Oh, but the fire started to burn and the AWP start to rattle off the shots. As Sixer now blinded, forced off the angle. They're down to 2 for Envy here. And now the 1v1. It's Twist again. So much pressure on this guy. He's got the bomb this time at least, so that's one bit of weight off his shoulders. But Sixer on the other side, certainly not adverse to these situations. Now Twist's going to go for a bit of a curious plant there on the other side of things. Just gets the bomb down as fast as he can. Tries to get himself a decent after-plant position as well. Just posts himself up. How much has Sixer worked out? How much has he seen?
No kid either, so he has to kind of speed up this retake. He can't take too long. There's too many places to check. He has to tap the bomb and try and get Twist to peek out his little head.
Sixer, this is going to be a dirty shot if he hits it. Twist holding the angle. We're going to see the feet first, and there it is. GODSENT have a lifeline, a very small one, but an avenue back into what could be this game. Their money's still far from perfect, and the money's looking at the other side. Well, it's not great either, so this is a very awkward situation here.
Why is this happening? You know, why are they winning these low buys? This is Train. This is a map where the CTs have the advantage. It's a CT-based map. You would definitely back them in for 10-5 halves every damn day of the week. But in these scenarios, somehow the force buys is where the magic's happening. Is that the Ts making risky plays and going for just Hail Marys and finding openings? Or is it the CTs being sloppy, being over-aggressive, not trading properly, not having the right setups? It's just not right. It's just not Counter-Strike, and I don't love to see it. But you know who does? GODSENT, as they're in the chase for 2 more rounds to push us into overtime, but Sixer, he wants to get aggressive.
Yeah, he's not liking it, is he? Just, do we really lose those rounds? Yeah, all right.
It's so frustrating as well because you're right there, you're on the cusp. You're going to win the game. You should win the game. There is nothing going against you and everything against them, and you make individual blunders. You've done it twice now in a game that is super close, where you could have already rounded it out, but that's a nice shot from XMS. He's feeling it. 1 tap.
Happy, can you do anything? No. Found by Disco Doppeln. XMS looking for another, he needs to be clean on these hits too. He has no armor, so it's got to be pretty precise to say, the very least. Schneider's already out as well, playing through from that Olaf spot, but already Schneider going to strike. That's one down on the site. It's XMS who's the only one who can really do anything about this. Unless Scream does some sort of miracle play, but it's not to be. And look at the timing on this one. XMS, he's right behind 2 of them. Oh, my word. XMS is perfect. 2 perfect kills. And now that is what you can write home about. No armor, almost no hope. He gets 1 rifle and he wins out the game. I don't know what to say about this.
Just say XM yes.
Chad? Fair play. That was, I'll take that. XMES does the job. RPK as well played phenomenally throughout this one. But for a first kind of game, a first debut, seeing really what Freddie B can do, that's not a bad scoreline for GODSENT.
No, and I'm interested to see how they look on map 2, Lauren.
You're right, Chad. Let's go to a break, and when we're back, we'll find out how they fare on that second map.